Everyone, it's BlackHighPriestess. Hope you are me. It's been a minute, but I've been spending time at home, so I decided to go live. I'm in the temple, and I'm going to do a carrot cake. I have a great recipe I want to share. So I have some things here. I was going to let you all decide whether I should do a gluten-free carrot cake or just kind of a whole wheat one. I don't have the all-purpose flour because I talk about the importance of using melanated foods, using organic foods, and, so avoiding foods that are bleached, white rice, white flour, including, milk, white sugar. Just, there's, just a lot of foods that are bleached. So I was going to let you all decide. Peace, everyone. Let's see where I can put the camera. Nice place I can fit this. It's been a minute since I got live. So I'm just going to get started on this carrot cake. I'm gonna prepare as soon as I can find somewhere to put to set the camera. This might work. Peace, everyone. Hope you all can hear me okay. It's kind of an angle, but I can put you all up there for now. Hope you all can hear me okay. So I figure we could start with the dry ingredients actually. So here I just have a bowl here rinsed out, and I'll kind of measure some things out. So this is a nice recipe for carrot cake. So we'll just do about a teaspoon. We'll start with some baking soda. Baking soda in there. Well, actually, did anyone decide whether I should do the gluten-free or the regular? No one decided. I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole wheat shepherd's pie, or not shepherd's pie, carrot cake. I'll go ahead and do the whole wheat. I'll do a gluten-free. I'll bake something gluten-free next time. So we're gonna need 2 cups of flour. So I do have a measuring cup here as well. And then, so yeah, it's about a cup. So we'll start with 2 cups, and then we'll just kind of sift everything also. So we'll start with 1 cup and sift. And of course, let me know if anyone has any questions about anything. Still teaching African spirituality, talking about it, anything pertaining to spirituality, mysticism, the occult, witchcraft, holistic health, and indigenous remedies. See, with this whole wheat, you get a lot of extra. So I'm going to go ahead and put another cup in. About 2 cups for this recipe. Okay. And I'll of course save the extra wheat, the extra flour, and just kind of compost that. There's a nice tree in my backyard that I've been offering to, putting some compost at, and we've gotten some nice rainfall too, so helps with the soil for the tree to drink up everything. So again, I'm just kind of sifting through, make the wheat nice and fine, make the flour nice and fine. So we have a little extra. So I'm just gonna throw a little extra flour on there. Just a little extra. And then again, just about, you know, just a good spoonful of baking soda. We're gonna do some baking powder and some salt as well. Okay. Okay. Be nice if I could just kind of put everything away as I go. So here we have, oh, sorry. All right, so here's the flour so far. And we do have a little baking soda in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add some baking powder. Baking powder. A little bit of that. About a half a teaspoon of baking powder. Not too much. Baking powder. Baking soda. Okay. And some salt. So I got the ancient grains, nice mineral salt. And remember, if you use kosher salt, the measurements are going to be a little bit different. So again, with the salt, I put about, I don't want it too salty. This is some good salt, so about a half a teaspoon. Not too much. Dry ingredients. So we got 2 cups of flour, some salt, baking soda, baking powder. And now we're going to go ahead and throw in some cinnamon. Put all this other stuff away. Back. Okay. So I'm gonna put a generous amount of cinnamon, at least 2 spoonfuls. Two teaspoons full of cinnamon. Put that in there. We can't have too much cinnamon. Same thing with the nutmeg. Or I mean, with ginger. We're gonna do ginger first. And some ginger. Add some ginger here. Same thing with the ginger, kind of match the cinnamon. Nice generous amount. Make it nice and spicy. Okay, some ginger in there. And we're gonna do some nutmeg. About 7 shakes of everything else. Okay, let's do some cloves. Okay, nutmeg, cloves, little allspice. So there, pretty much we have our dry ingredients. We could add a little vanilla in there as well, and we're gonna go ahead and just kind of stir everything around. I guess I can still show you. Just kind of stir everything nice and spicy. So again, we have a couple cups of flour. You can do gluten-free. I did whole wheat flour. All-purpose is traditional. We got 2 to 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 to 3 tablespoons of ginger, or teaspoons rather, for those counts. Don't want to overdo it. And then about 7 shakes of some cloves, nutmeg, allspice. Can add a little vanilla if we need to, but we're gonna have plenty of vanilla in the homemade frosting. So there we have some dry ingredients. And what we're actually gonna do now is, before I get the wet ingredients, one secret you should do is the other things like the nuts, the coconut flakes, and the raisins that I'm going to put in, you can mix that with the dry ingredients, so when you mix it with the wet ingredients, they don't all seep to the bottom. It actually stays layered throughout. So if you get a nice coating on the raisins, I actually have here some raisins. So you can add some raisins. Again, I'm going to add in the dry ingredient first. So they'll get a nice coating of the flour and everything. And we will add some coconut flakes. And try not to overdo it. One thing I've learned, try not to overdo it with the raisins, because then you get like a raisin bread as well, which is fine. But the raisins can easily overpower. So we're gonna, got some raisins here. Add the raisins and the dry ingredients. And that way they get a nice coating of the flour. And again, they won't just seep to the bottom. They'll actually remain evenly distributed throughout the batter. So next thing, we do have some diced pecans and walnuts. So I'm going to go ahead and grate them a little bit more. I do have a little food processor here, so I'm going to throw them in there and give them a quick pump or two. Food processor. Just kind of mix a few together, and not too much. Don't want the batter to be too, it's easy to overpower the batter when you're making this carrot cake, I've learned. There we go. Okay, some pecans and walnuts. A little more pecans than walnuts. Give them a quick pump or two. Nice and even. Extra finely grated. So it just kind of blends in with the batter nicely. And we're gonna add the carrots in pretty soon and grate those up. Alrighty. I'm just gonna kind of put some of the dry ingredients away. A minute. You all know how I do when I go live. I'm never like prepared. It's just always kind of whimsical. But it's been a minute. Like I said, I've been spending more time at home. The cats have loved that. And I'm in the baking mood. Alright. There's some space. see here. So we added the grated pecans and walnuts. Got some raisins in there. Let me know if anyone has any questions again. Let me see the comments. Peace, everyone. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep grading. I'm just kind of trying to look at the comments there. But yeah, just kind of mix in everything there. And then the last thing, we're gonna add in some coconut flakes. So the coconut flakes do give it just a nice flavor. So I do have some ones that are kind of sweetened already. And again, don't want to overpower, but add a nice amount of coconut flakes. Get a nice coating. Okay. So again, the batter is pretty thick. It's pretty spicy. It's chock full of different dry ingredients. Walnuts, pecans, raisins, coconut flakes. And we're actually not done. When we get to the wet ingredients, Tyrone said, how do you create a beautiful organic cake? Yeah, well, this is, I did the whole wheat flour. Pretty sure it's organic, I guess. But, you know, the first step to that is using all organic ingredients. And again, you know, being a bloodborne witch and kind of my brand kind of talking about and exposing some of the mysteries of witchcraft and what it means to be a witch, you know, just kind of showing how, you know, witches put recipes together, simple recipes you can use just cooking for health. So I would say, again, always start with using organic ingredients as best you can. So we're going to go ahead and put the dry ingredients aside. A second, and I'll be right back. Put all this flour and everything away. Put everything we use, just kind of clean up as we go, and then we'll get ready for the wet ingredients. Now the other thing is, again, I have to grate the carrots and put that in the dry ingredients. We're going to do at least 2 cups of carrots. Kind of cleaning up as I go, and then again saving that extra wheat for compost, throw it out by the tree, whatever, or just save it for another cooking. All right, and get on to the wet ingredients. Put the dry ingredients aside. You can even throw them in the fridge real quick, or you can just cover them up, and let's do the wet. We're going to do eggs. Start with the eggs. I got a couple sticks of butter. We're going to save 1 stick for the frosting. Okay. So, rinse this tin out. Start with the wet ingredients. Okay, so I got a tin here. I'm going to be blending some things. So What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to kind of meringue the eggs a little bit. I've become obsessed with doing that. I'm just going to see how it turns out. Kind of fluff them up a little bit with some sugar. The same way you make a souffle or macarons. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to do actually 4 eggs. I have 4 medium organic brown eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the yolk. And sometimes, and as you all know, I love cocktails, and so, you know, I love cocktails with egg white as well. So I have had to make some like that. And then, of course, save the eggshells for compost. And, you know, ladies, you can, you know, eggshells and eggs are great for some beauty secrets as well, for your skin, hair, nails, things like that. So we are going to save the shells. And again, I'm just separating the egg whites from the yolks, because I am going to meringue the whites. Okay. Just kind of do it the good old-fashioned way. Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. Make sure you don't get any shell in there. That's the main thing. Okay, beautiful. One more. It's gonna be a nice, delicious carrot cake. And my bestie, her and her family actually ate up my last couple batches. She loves it, so I've kind of perfected this recipe and got a great turnout the very first time I made it. So, and again, here's some eggshells. We're gonna save those, compost those, so we can throw this in the fridge as well, which I will be right back. So, I'm going to turn on the blender and everything. Get ready to kind of meringue a little bit. Just add a little sugar or even cream of tartar. I don't want to do the cream of tartar, but I do have some sugar to add. This is like some kind of like fine cane sugar. So oh yeah, the egg yellows here, which we'll add later. Try and make it nice and fluffy. We can even save some of this for the frosting, and that's another reason why I do want to do the eggs like this, because I can save a little bit and kind of thicken up the frosting, fortify it with the eggs too. So I'll save this for the frosting. Gonna wipe that down real quick. Alrighty. I don't know how this will turn out, but kind of whip them really well. And now I am going to just add a little sugar to kind of froth it up a little bit. Really just kind of do like that until it bubbles up. Medium speed, medium. add a little more sugar. Really should do it while you're blending, but I only got 2 hands. I'm not an octopus. I'm a mermaid. So kind of stiff, but like I said, I'm gonna scoop some out and put it in the bowl here that I'm gonna use for the frosting, just to kind of fortify the frosting a little bit. And so, like you can see, it's nice and frothy, nice meringue there. Okay. See? Sorry. But yeah, you can hold the bowl upside down and it won't come. So that's how you do meringue anyway. And so I'm just going to see what the carrot cake turns out like this method. So, like I said, give me 1 second. Scoop a little bit of the egg whites in here for the frosting. Just a little bit more. And I'm actually gonna put this in the fridge until I do make the frosting. And so now we're gonna add, I probably should have added some more sugar, but gonna add a little vanilla extract to thin out the meringue, and add some vanilla in the equation. So this will thin it out. And then we're gonna add the egg yellows as well, and we're gonna mix those in, get them all in with a spatula. Spatula somewhere. And so I'm going to keep blending, and we're going to add probably a couple cups of sugar as well. I'm going to add a little sugar in there, maybe not that much, but I'm going to blend this up. Okay. And with the sugar, again, you just kind of can add, you know, don't really have to measure the sugar, add enough. Blend some sugar in there. And we're going to do half coconut oil and half butter. So I'm not going to put the whole stick of butter in. The butter is pretty soft already. Should be a little bit more melted. But I'm just going to put the butter in increments. I'm just going to kind of like scoop. Like I said, it's pretty soft, so I'm just going to scoop some pieces in, about 4 or 5 pieces. And then going to add some coconut oil. Nice generous amount of coconut oil. So half butter, half coconut oil. You can do all coconut oil if you want to do a vegan thing. And I am going to add a little bit more sugar. And we're going to blend all of these things together. So what we have here is our wet ingredients. I am in Chicago. And so again, we have some um, cane sugar, butter, coconut oil, extra virgin organic coconut oil, a little vanilla. We got the egg yellow, egg white. Put it on high speed now. Make sure the butter chunks are melted. Add a little more sugar now. Okay. Just a little bit more. Just nice and sweet. Can't overdo it too much with sugar when you're making a cake. Alrighty. So pretty much have everything now. So I'm just gonna blend everything a little bit more, and then I can start rinsing off some stuff. And then I'm gonna grate the carrots, and we're gonna add applesauce and some crushed pineapples. And that's the secret to keeping the cake nice and moist in the oven as it bakes. And I like that nice keeping the moisture in and keeping everything, all the ingredients kind of flaky and separated. We have some crushed pineapples here. We're going to add about a spoonful of these to the wet ingredients. And again, the acidity of the pineapples and the that kind of that hint of tartness and sweetness really makes a difference. And we're going to add some applesauce. I did unsweeten since we added sugar and cinnamon, but you can add some sweetened cinnamon applesauce too, and skip out on some of the sugar and cinnamon. But the applesauce, again, just going to give it a nice flavor, a nice texture. Keep the moisture in as it's baking. And of course, applesauce goes well with all the spices. So these are those two secret ingredients. See how it thins out the batter really nicely? That acidity, extra sweetness in there. There we go. Nice batter there. You can never really add too much of the pineapple and the applesauce. You're going to add a little bit more. So everything is blended up really nicely now. Okay. Wet ingredients. Meringue egg whites. Add the egg yellows in with some sugar, a little vanilla, a little like bourbon vanilla, and half butter, half coconut oil, a little more sugar, crushed pineapples, applesauce, egg yolks, like I said. All right, and so we're gonna get the carrots together, and I have some baby carrots here. And again, I got the idea to do the carrot cake because, you know, I have the carrots left over. I hadn't used them yet, and I'm like, you know, I want to use them before they expire. So it's always good to, you know, go ahead and make a cake out of something, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable. You can't go wrong with baking your leftovers. You know, if you have fruits or vegetables that are a little fermented, that won't be bad in a cake or with baking. You know, just a little alcoholic component always goes well with baking things. So, again, first, you know, Witchcraft 101, recycling, composting. It's advanced for garden witches, but, you know, that's 101, just waste not, want not. You don't waste, you compost, you give back to the animals, to nature. You recycle, nature will take care of you in mysterious ways. So we throw everything in the fridge and move on. So I'll probably do the frosting soon. Get the pineapple chunks together. And again, the pineapples just add a nice tropical flair to the carrot cake. Nice Caribbean flavors there. So I have space to work. Okay. So let's see what's up with these carrots. Add a little more sugar. And sugar packets. It's good if you save sugar packets, you know, or ketchup packets, different things like that. You can find a lot of stuff to do with, you know, if you have a bunch of packets. If you're in like the food beverage industry or in you know, industries or whatever, where you get a lot of condiments and extra things like that, or food, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with like the littlest things too. So let's save those. I'm gonna blend this a little bit more. Kind of blend in that sugar there. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the carrots. Hopefully they grind up pretty well. Need at least a couple cups of carrots. These guys off a little bit. some of these carrots, again, they've already started growing. So I'm going to save the ones that have already rooted and plant them and grow. Even some ones like this would be ideal to plant since they've already split and rooted. So I'm going to save this guy. Save a couple of these guys. And plant them. Go ahead and throw some of these in the grinder. Because they're chopped kind of large. Carrots are pretty dense, so a few pumps. There we go. Be like that. So I'll keep doing that. And this is a good grate, a little thicker. We're gonna put the carrots in the dry ingredients again to get a nice coat on them so they don't just seep to the bottom. So got the dry ingredients here, and we're just going to gradually put the carrots in as I grate them. Carrots at a time. Got the whole bag, maybe about 2 cups. Messy. Again, I just got the food processor here. Grate them nice and thin. All right. So we got all the whole bag in, pretty much. That's my spatula. The whole bag, but as well. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Put 7 in at a time. Yeah, so again, just making carrot cake. Good to have kitchen tools, I think. Go quicker. Almost at 2 cups, really. Grate a few more. Probably could save a few more and plant them. Put all of them in though, since that was the purpose. Use all this carrot sauce, this carrot cake. another cup right there. So it'll be a little more than 2 cups of carrots. It'll be a lot. That's what we're working with as of now. A lot of carrots. Make sure you're mixing them in. Dry ingredients. Probably gonna need could even put a little more flour to compensate for the other carrots. And again, this batch you can definitely make 2 cakes out of. You can half the ingredients if you just want to make one nice big cake, but this one you could definitely make two cakes for sure. And I'm gonna need a little more flour, as you can see. Plenty more carrots here. And I can even save the rest of the carrots for another batch. I'm gonna have to get bigger mixing bowls somewhere. But we want to make sure all the dry ingredients have a nice coat of the flour. Put all the carrots in. All the carrots. And again, you can do about a couple cups of carrots. This is probably a little more once you grate them. But again, 2 cups of grated carrots. More the merrier. There's a carrot cake, so again, can't have enough carrots or sugar. Okay. Cinnamon. I'm gonna mix the rest in. And again, the carrots are definitely going to be the star of the show. Yeah. So I've been kind of cooking. I haven't had a chance. A little bit about me. Black High Priestess, for anyone who's new. I don't think anyone is new to my channel watching right now, but for those of you who come across this, my brand Black High Priestess, I really started to kind of, you know, create solutions for Black women who are marginalized, who are like me, who have suffered the effects of marginalization, poverty, you know, being a slave descendant, and, you know, just the effects of white supremacy. And, you know, over the years, it's been a decade now since I really came out and, you know, really started my brand, Black High Priestess. And I love doing oracle consultations, the spiritual services. That's probably was most fulfilling to me. But I realized that, you know, now we Black people are diverse, and it is a new day, and every Black person does not have the same experiences of poverty and single parent homes and having to overcome, you know, specifics of poverty. And so I think I want to more so focus on, you know, Black women who come from where I come from and who have those similar struggles and how to overcome that. And, you know, healthy eating, healthy cooking. You know, some things I had access to was, you know, a mother who raised me holistic and, you know, use essential oils, organic foods. I grew up, you know, eating healthy, eating organic. And so that's why cooking, it's not just essential to being a witch and understanding mysteries of witchcraft. You know, it's essential in Black revolution when it comes to creating health. When you're a slave descendant, the slaves ate whatever was given to them, whatever leftovers were given, whatever crumbs. And so, you know, a lot of black people, Dr. Umar Johnson recently at the Bantu Fest was talking about the biggest problem in the black race in America and abroad is the psychological issues and traumas that create white supremacy in the mind of a black person, and the importance of, you know, Pan-Africanism and getting and reconnecting to African culture to understand our history prior to slavery and beyond. And, you know, so, you know, healthy eating is a huge problem in the black community. So I do like to talk about how to cook for healing as well, and how that relates to traditional witchcraft. And, you know, my brand is also about dismantling the negative stigmas attached to being a witch, and kind of also dismantling a lot of these new age fallacies and new age practices, and kind of bringing back the actual indigenous traditions and the sacred heritage of the practices that are now considered witchcraft. So I've mixed everything up pretty well. This is going to be a lot. As you can see, everything's got a pretty good coat on it. Again, probably could use a little bit more flour, but I'm going to work with what we have here, and we're going to mix it into the wet ingredients now, slowly and gradually. Probably could use a bigger bowl. I'm not sure if I have an even bigger one. Let me see if I can get the biggest bowl. The biggest bowl. Right here. We're going to mix everything in here. We're going to put the dry ingredients in first and kind of mix them a little bit more, and like I said, add a little more flour. A little bit more flour. Just going to have to sprinkle it. Trust the process a bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix everything in a bit more. Wipe my phone off because I just dropped it in. Okay, and so again, now I can get a better mix on everything. Nice bigger bowl. See all those chunks? We want to make sure everything's evenly distributed with flour. Those carrots hold a lot of moisture as they grated. So, again, kind of make sure. I have to use both hands at this point. But one of my best-selling products is my oil pulling toothpaste. And that one, again, all my products, you know, for holistic health, I do make alekis as well, spirit beads. But my products are made with essential oils, and so my oil pulling toothpaste is a great recipe to prevent bacteria from forming, or to kind of reduce any pain and inflammation associated with a cavity, or, you know, some, you know, canker sores, and to you know, create natural whitening with baking soda, and just create a healthy environment in the mouth with natural ingredients. So I'm gonna put a little more flour. Like I said, this is gonna be, probably could even use one more egg because of the amount of carrots. Just kind of coat everything, and pretty soon we'll get the wet ingredients going. Yeah, so baking, there's a lot of chemistry, alchemy involved in baking. Again, altering the molecular structure of things like the eggs, you know, making them go from liquid to solid, pretty much, to foam. You know, and doing that with tools, but also with temperatures as well. Baking is a lot of fun. For me, it's kind of therapeutic, and it's an art form as well. So when I get a little creative burst, can't go wrong with baking. So now I'm going to go ahead and add our wet ingredients. Now that I got everything mixed as well as I think I can. Gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna give the wet ingredients a quick blend again. And we're gonna add them, and that just kind of helps everything stay even. We're gonna get the spatula, get everything in there. So yeah, now that we've recovered in America from COVID and everything's back up and running, you know, I've had some trials, and I'm ready to be more consistent and, you know, get back to teaching and talking about great subjects that will awaken the race. And that's the human race too, not just the African ethnicity. And the African genetic is really what it is. But, you know, these are all great discussions. And, you know, I'm looking forward to the different ways my brand is evolving with the times and the demand for the things I have to offer. So let's make sure we are evolving. Okay, this batter. So I'm going to go ahead and blend. It's a little too thick to mix, so now we will blend everything. Give it a quick blend. Stick with some big jam. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this stuff up, give it a nice quick blend. Have it. And so we're going to get some parchment paper and line a couple tins for baking, and start basically kind of washing and cleaning up, getting ready to make the batter. I mean the frosting. So, the white down. Let me get the parchment paper. I'll look inside of the vase there. This nice deep one here. This is pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and line this with the parchment paper and just cut kind of put the parchment paper in and just kind of cut according to. That way you don't really have to line the tin with any butter or oil. For the baking, you can just put the parchment paper, kind of cut the edges a little bit. Don't go up too much. I just kind of cut it like this so I can just fit it in nicely, kind of cut the diagonals so they can fold in on each other. Try and show you what I mean. I can. See, you just kind of it'll fit in like this, and then again the diagonals you can kind of fold them in like that, like a corner, and so they kind of fit perfectly like that. Same thing with this side here. Just kind of fold the diagonal again. So messy. But I hope that makes sense for you all. So I'll have to. So the parchment paper is nice and even on the back. That way. You can see everything kind of folds in like that. The way I cut it. That's how it works. Everything's like even like that. So you can just trim the tops off of the parchment and everything's good to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that with my kitchen shears. My trusty kitchen shears. Go and just trim down everything else around the perimeter. And again, so with the parchment paper, you can just lift the cake right out of the tin when it's done baking. Don't have to worry about sticking to the edges, all that jazz. There we have it. I'll just pour the cake right in there. The batter. Might be able to get away with one cake and then I can kind of slice it in half. Yeah. actually gonna fit. So I did the measurements right this time. Like I said, I have been perfecting this recipe. So looks like I actually got the measurements right this time because I don't have extra batter left over. It's all gonna fit in this one tin here. Gonna make sure it's cooked all the way through. I just want to show you all here. After I'm done with the spatula, I got all the batter out of this big guy, and it all actually fit perfectly. I'll show you all. It fits nicely on the parchment paper. Probably cut that edge off a little bit. Cut this little edge off right there. There we go. And see, it fits perfectly in tin. So I made the perfect batch there. And as you all saw me make it. So if you want to make one nice big thick carrot cake that you can probably cut in two and layer with frosting, or this is a nice size. And I'll go ahead and pop this guy in the oven, preheat the oven for 350, and check it after about 25 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven. It's beautiful though. Go ahead and get the oven preheated to 350. Okay, and then go ahead and pop this guy in there, and then again, gotta do a little more cleanup, and a little washing. See if I can put you all right here for now. Let me do that. Just gonna do a little cleanup and a little washing. Yeah, my babies. Okay. And another secret you can do is put a little bit of a little bit of water, or if you're cooking it in a bigger tin, you can put a bigger tin with a little bit of water in the oven to keep the moisture in. With this, I'm just probably going to cover it with some foil for the first few minutes just to keep the heat in, because it's got so much moisture. It's got all the pineapples. And then again, let's just kind of recap. We've got the dry ingredients: 2 cups of whole wheat flour, a dash of baking powder, baking soda, and salt, a couple teaspoons of cinnamon, couple teaspoons of ginger, some shakes of clove, nutmeg, allspice. For the dry ingredients, we got some coconut flakes, raisins, pecans, walnuts, and of course, at least 2 to 3 cups of carrots, grated finely, nice and moist. We've got some baby carrots in there. And then for the wet ingredients, we have the meringue egg whites with some sugar, and the egg yolks thrown in there with some butter, some coconut oil, and a little bourbon vanilla extract. And then we have the pineapple, crushed pineapples, and applesauce. And everything mixed in, blended in beautifully. We're going to cover this sucker up with some foil for a little bit. Let everything rise. And take the foil off after the first few minutes. oven preheats, so it has a nice crust on the top, great for holding the frosting, which I'm going to make in a minute. Frosting will be pretty simple. So let me put some foil over this guy. Just for while the oven is preheated. And again, if you have extra batter, for whatever reason, you can always save it and put it in the fridge, you know, freeze it, or just throw it in the fridge for a few days until you're ready to make your second batch. I'm gonna throw this in the oven, get this ready to eat. And I guess before I clean up, I'll go ahead and make the frosting. Looks like a lot of trash. A lot to clean up. Not a lot. Make a mess. But this is fine. Rinse these off. Ready for the frosting. Rinse these guys off. Oven's preheated. I'll be right back. first with the frosting. We're gonna have to scrape some of this nice, natural, delicious vanilla bean. And it is very strong. When you get some real organic vanilla bean, it makes a huge difference. So to start with, we still do have that little bit of meringue egg white, and again, that's just going to add some substance to the frosting. If anyone makes macarons like I do, you can make the center frosting for macarons with, you know, the egg whites as well. So just fortify it a little bit, try something different this time. And we're going to add a little bit more of that soft butter, and probably another half a stick more. Some soft butter. I don't want to overdo it with the butter, but the butter does make a huge difference. So can't really skimp on the butter. Just half a stick of butter there. At least maybe one whole stick, really. Do have some vegan butter here as well. I was thinking about adding to it. And we have some cream cheese. Cream cheese frosting, traditional for carrot cake. So you do want at least 8 ounces of cream cheese. Yeah, we got, yep, 8 ounces. So we're just gonna put this whole thing of nice soft cream cheese in there. It's nice and soft. And we're gonna add about 3 cups of powdered sugar. So far, this is what we're working with. Frosting. Butter. A little less than a stick of butter. 8 ounces cream cheese. A little bit of egg white in there. We're gonna meringue that up, but we are going to add the vanilla. No, we're gonna add the vanilla after we soften everything up and blend everything here. Let's start here. Just gonna leave that there. See how it just fluffs up really easily. Probably could even add some of that vegan butter. And now we're gonna scrape some vanilla bean in there. I got one that's cut in half already. So you do vanilla bean. Then you're gonna cut it and scrape. And you can use vanilla extract if you ever need to kind of soften up the equation. But this, I'm going to use the real vanilla bean. You really just can't go wrong. And so I have half one here that I'm going to cut in half. And when I say cut in half, I mean down the middle, like so. So you can open it up and see the insides. Okay. And open it up nice, and you get to see all the insides there, the vanilla bean. sure you can. Y'all can see there. You see all the insides there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape. And I'll show you all. See how my finger guides. Show you all that delicious vanilla bean there. The flavor of vanilla bean is incredible. And it's fresh like this. And you can just scrape. Gotta make sure you really scrape all the insides. And you save the rest of the stem for making hot toddies. Boil the rest of the stem. Scrape it on. Still a lot on the knife to get off. See, still got some more in there. Yeah, vanilla bean. It's really important. Makes a whole world of difference with the flavors and everything, so. I'm gonna put even another half, a little bit more. So I got 2 big, huge ones. So, no time like the present. Wrap these suckers back up. Again, I'm gonna, you save the stem of the bean. You can boil it. I'll make like a vanilla lavender. You can boil it with sugar and water, and I can make like a vanilla lavender syrup that I can use for coffee, cocktails, baking. Nice. This frosting's gonna be phenomenal. Trust me, the vanilla bean vanilla makes a world of difference. Scrape it off like this. Yeah. It's delicious. And you can even, you can even save it, make some fragrant candles. You can do a lot with it. I actually make homemade perfume that I use vanilla in, so I can even throw these stems in the batch for the homemade perfume that has to sit for at least 2-3 weeks in alcohol. So you can do a lot. Remember, Witchcraft 101. So I'm going to actually put these in a separate little jar because I'm going to boil these and make a vanilla syrup out of it. And I'm going to blend away. So now that is plenty of vanilla in there. I'm just going to give it one quick whirl. And as you can see, you'll see the specks of vanilla bean. And when, again, one of the huge differences between just regular vanilla and vanilla bean, you know, you actually see the difference. You will undoubtedly taste the difference. So we are good to go. Now we just are gonna need about 3 cups of sugar. So we got some powdered sugar here. And you do have to use powdered sugar to keep it nice and fluffy. Everything on the fluff side. So we can start measuring. About 3 cups. Okay, so I got 1 cup right here, so we're gonna put the 3rd cup in after we've blended a little bit. At this point, we're just gonna give it a quick taste. Yep. It does need that extra cup of sugar. But it's delicious. Really taste the vanilla bean, the cream cheese. Just 1 more cup of sugar in there. And again, it doesn't have to be super sweet. That's a good thing. You can make it as sweet or less sweet as you like. The vanilla bean that makes the difference, trust me. Taste again. Oh yeah. Yep. it. Delicious cream cheese frosting. And you can always add a dash of, you can add some dried roses or a dash of rose oil, lavender oil, a little lemon in there. Just a dash, not to overpower it, but just to kind of give it a little bit more calming dessert character. You know, a little more of that nighttime relaxation, something kind of sensual, fun. Lavender, rose, and lemon is always a great little flavoring to add. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this frosting and let the cake bake a little bit longer. At this time I'm going to take the foil off and let the frosting chill in the fridge. And when the cake is done, I'll let it cool, I'll cut it, and then I'll frosting it and probably post some pictures. So I hope you all enjoyed the recipe. Again, this delicious frosting is butter. You can use vegan butter, but about a stick of butter, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 3 cups of powdered sugar, and throw a vanilla bean in there. Alright. So thank you all. Let me know again if anyone does have any questions. Thanks for watching. I know these uploads always take forever, but you know, again, I'm just gonna work on marketing myself a little bit better and getting the technology together and just kind of preparing some more food uploads, some more foodie uploads, some more film reviews, and I'm gonna do my hair soon. And of course, some more live oracle consultations. I'll probably be working with some cards a little bit more for your spiritual guidance. All right, everyone, peace and